It's good to have solid people in your world, no matter who God has made me to be. I've been chosen, I believe, because I have seen people no less than. There's something in math called greater than, less than, and equal to. And when we lay down our lives, it is the spirit that elevates in us and rises up. And so it's powerful for us to come together. We are not limited like a battery. There's one side negative, one side positive. If left is correct, then right must be wrong, or vice versa. We're not that simple. It is us that has blinded our own eyes through higher knowledge, lower knowledge, and kept us on a path called straight. And us walking our human path has been that individual marked by God. I was looking at my palms earlier today and looking at the lines. We are like a tree, and our veins and our lines, they tell a story. We are the serpent wrapped around that tree. And through our own temptations, we are told we are led away. But I believe it is those very experiences that bring us not just closer to God, excuse me, not just closer to God, but closer to the identity of self in God and God in self. And self in God begins the acronym of SIG, as in Sigma. And that's why you hear some people say God is a black woman. The sigma in us is the ma. In the reverse, in the mirror, the ma is the am gist. As if I get the gist, I get the hang of this thing. And so these are our games with the I am, being able to manipulate a string of thought, to be able to forget. But the confidence is the greatest I am, that which we understand to be the all and encompassing, that which would anchor us to make sure that even in the infinity, the zeros have value. When you step out of the zeros, you step out, disconnect the 8, separate like osmosis. We create through understanding sometimes through intuition, other times through teaching. Sometimes Mother wants us to know something just because we know that we know. We know that when we reach for it, it will be there. We don't have to keep front load access, taking up our valuable space. And so we crunch and we leave space, and we are told that this atmosphere, this planet is, this atom is 90 something percent, 97, plus or minus percent empty. So we're all jam-packed, or so the visual would try to make it seem. That would give a kind of claustrophobic idea, wouldn't it? Versus being spread out like a baseball field versus packed in the stadium. But like diamonds in the sky, we are below, twinkling in our eyes. What is important to us, what we put our hand to, and what we put a pencil or a pen, otherwise known as a scepter, what we accept through signature, through the SIG, through the psyche, that is what we decree as so and as such. And so Sigmund Freud had a doofer about his last name, a feud about his name. If I see the white blood cells as white Caucasian people in the body, in the earth, and I see the red blood cells as the hemoglobin, there has to be a manner of control that the white blood cells has to have over self. Otherwise, we have a kind of autoimmune issue. If the autoimmune issue is that it thinks there is an enemy, then what represents the healing as well as the enemy, depending on the force, is what determines our health as a whole, as an entire being. In our own body, we start by saying that there is no uncontrolled fire. There is no inflammation. My body is at equilibrium or equilibrium, as well as earth equilibrium. I have my ink pen and I decree such a thing as a report of a clean bill of health by my own faith, my own mantra, my own art, man art, and God spoken. And I would like to help those, as I have helped myself, to stay in a space of overflow, of infinite mindset, to be fluid even, not just set, but set on breathing and breeding prosperity, letting no past diagnosis supersede the knowledge of God, casting down all imagination that would exalt itself. Any images, whether X-ray or otherwise, that is the power of the freedom of speech and religion, what many call the placebo effect, many call a profit to the world, to the nations, to the people, to the persons, to the soul. We need more than chicken noodle soup. We need the power of God in our lives through our tongue, through the word of God, through the word of our testimony, and the blood of the lambs, the sheeps,